Main man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, y'all. Here real quick and just share some thoughts, man. Just got finished watching that final press. I mean, not final, but the press conference of Kell Brook and Gennady Golovkin, in which they had their first face-off, man. And let me tell you, man. First off the skip, just off the eye test, man. Gennady Golovkin, this present day, ladies and gentlemen, looks massive compared to Kell Brook, man. Kell Brook has a hell of a uphill fight in front of him, man. He has a hell of a uphill fight. But I'm still rooting for my main man, Kell Brook, man. I'm hoping that he pulls this through, makes history, and do the impossible and show these fighters to stop being pussy. You know what I mean? I am definitely rooting for Kell Brook. But, and it seems as if in a lot of the interviews that Kell Brook is encountering now, the name Amir Khan is still hovering over this fight, man. It seems as if no matter whom Kell Brook chooses to fight, no matter how big the fight is, the name Amir Khan will always be prevalent around Kell Brook, man. And it's kind of crazy, man. At this particular time, man, this fight between Amir Khan and Kell Brook has been built up allegedly for years, man. These two appeared on programs together a long time ago. This fight could easily have happened. Now, this particular fight has transformed into something bigger for both fighters. Don't make no misunderstanding about it. These two men still, at this present day, need one another. They need one another. They need one another, man. The fight has to happen. These two men cannot retire and move on with their careers and in life, period, without them getting in, lacing it up and getting into the ring together. Like Adrian Braun has said, man, I don't give a fuck if it's a sparring match, if it's a video game, something. These two men have to see each other. You know what I'm saying? Now, we know Amir Khan, man. In Amir Khan's case, he's back down at welterweight, coming up to 155 and getting knocked out by Canelo. He's back down at welterweight now, where he still sits as the number one contender to Danny Garcia's WBC championship. It's funny because Amir Khan has been there actually as the number one contender for a couple years now, ever since Floyd Mayweather held that particular title and never gave a legitimate reason why he never faced Amir Khan. But however, though Khan went up in weight, he worked out a special deal with the WBC, so now he remains the number one contender even though he got knocked out at a higher weight. This was the least that the WBC could do, given that they never enforced that Mayweather and Khan fight. But however, now Khan is in a limbo space, if you will, because according to the WBC, when Khan decides to come back to fighting, or once he served his mandatory layoff by being knocked out by Canelo, he will come back as the number one contender, and they will enforce the fight between him and Danny Garcia. But we hear lately that Danny Garcia seems to be leaning in the direction of Amir Khan's stablemate, Andre Berto. The same thing that Floyd did. Remember? Instead of fighting Khan, he turned around and fought Berto. You know what I'm saying? But it seems as if that's the direction that Danny Garcia is going. And it's sad because Amir Khan linked up with Al Heyman. Now, Al Heyman doesn't have the total control over Amir Khan like he does with all his fighters. So Amir Khan, at this pretty much, he's semi-managed by Al Heyman, and he does basically whatever the fuck he wants to do, man. Al Heyman has to share that duties with the likes of Mr. Shao Kahn, the father of Amir Khan, and then some other people. But it's just like, it's not the same deal. So Khan can do what he wants. So I wonder, when Khan went up to face Canelo at 155, Canelo Alvarez being a golden boy fighter, you know what I'm saying? And this fight taking place on pay-per-view, and we know that Al Heyman is totally against the pay-per-view model. It seems as if that, man, he kind of bucked Al Heyman in that situation. I don't know what kind of thing that him and Khan has going on, but I'm sure when Khan linked up with Heyman, he thought that this was going to open the door to a lot of PBC fighters, to a lot of the PBC superstars, you know what I'm saying? Like Keith Thurman and your Sean Porters and your possible Earl Spence. I love to see that fight, Earl Spence's and stuff like that, maybe even Mayweather. These are PBC fighters, and Khan has not been able to get a fight with any of them. You know what I'm saying? Or none of the other champions for that matter. You know what I mean? So, I don't know if him and Al Heyman have a rocky thing going, but clearly that strategy didn't work for Khan. And now Khan is left at a space where either you go and face the guy who knocked you out before the last guy that knocked you out. You get in there and you try to redeem that fight, which I have been calling for in the past. And Danny Garcia seems and welcomes that fight. He said he'll knock Khan out again. No fucking problems. You know what I'm saying? And he'll probably get a bigger check doing it. And according to Angel Garcia, he's not thrilled for that fight. He'd rather go down to the soccer levels and get the big checks for those type of fights. But listening to Danny Garcia, the actual fighter, he said that, hey man, I take on Khan, I knock him out again, but I don't think he'll be in a hurry to get back in the ring and get knocked out again. Which is real talk. So what does Khan do? He can't fight no fucking Conor McGregor like he's trying to do his best Mayweather impersonation. You know what I'm saying? He can't do that. So what is he going to do? Because the fact of the matter is, if he gets back in there with Danny Garcia, he loses. He needs to then get on the phone, who is the promoter of Kell Brook, and work something out. Because at that point in time, Khan's days will be start to be numbered. You know what I'm saying? And in Kell Brook's case, man, win or lose, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, he still needs the fucking Khan fight. Because as a fighter, once again, if you got someone calling you out for years, even though you know you tried to make that fight, but you got a guy calling you out for years, man, he's a countryman. You know, forget what the world thinks. What does your people in your country think? And these are the things that fighters think about. They want to not only be praised by the world, but they want to be praised by their own people, man. And this particular fight is UK's possibly biggest fight still, man. You know what I'm saying? The only other bigger one that I could think of maybe is Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? But outside of that fight, this is definitely the biggest fight in the UK still to this day. You know what I'm saying? If Kell Brook loses to Gennady Golovkin, right? Then he loses and he goes back down to welterweight, once again possibly encountering the same problem that he had prior to the Gennady Golovkin fight, and that's not being able to secure a big name world class opposition or world class fight. You know what I'm saying? None of the guys at welterweight challenged Kell Brook, man. They gave him lip service. No one got on the phone with Eddie Hearn. No one wanted to go to the UK. No one wanted to have Kell Brook come back here. I don't know. No one wanted to get in there with Kell Brook. None of the champions. Kell Brook will eventually go back to that situation, especially in light of a loss. He will be seen as low marketability, like can't market this guy. Though he lost to Gennady Golovkin in front of the world, he lost. You know what I mean? And he's beaten no one since then, since Sean Porter. So why are we fighting this man again? But he will go back to welterweight as still full-fledged WBO champion. So these are the things that we got to understand. I mean, I'm sorry, not WBO champion. He will go back down to welterweight as the IBF champion. You know what I'm saying? So these things need to be considered. But however, he won't get a fight with them dudes. But who else will be there? I don't know if Khan dicks him around even more, waiting to see if he gets knocked out by Gennady Golovkin and then sit back and just laugh. Ha, 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 ha. You got your ass knocked out. I would have put up a much better fight in the first 5 rounds against Canelo. I was outboxing him. You just got your ass knocked out. Will Khan take that position, or will Khan say, well, you know, you gave it your best shot, you went up in weight, you did something that's not common, and you try to achieve greatness, even though you lost, we can get it on, and we can get it on possibly for your title. I don't know, something, you know what I'm saying? Does Khan pivot to that mode? Because like I said, Kell Brook will possibly need Khan in that particular instance. Now, even if he beats Gennady Golovkin, Kell Brook, if he beats Gennady Golovkin and he becomes a middleweight champion, I don't know, Kell Brook goes back down to welterweight or not. But if he does decide to go back down to welterweight, well, he will still be champion, knowing that in today's boxing time, the only person that can be champion in 2 divisions is Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? They will make him relinquish some of them titles, ladies and gentlemen. And he should want to anyway, because that's a hell of a lot of fucking sanctioning fees. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that if he doesn't go back to welterweight, then I totally understand. He will force Amir Khan to come up in weight, where he will have much more of an advantage, where he will be A-side and he will hold majority of the cards, and he still will face Amir Khan, ladies and gentlemen, because the bag of money for that fight ain't going nowhere. If anything, it grew over the last couple years, even with Kell Brook taking the opposition that he had, and even with Amir Khan getting knocked out and fighting the opposition that he had. That fight and that bag is still massive in the UK. So for these reasons alone, ladies and gentlemen, these 2 men really still need each other, man. Though no matter what happens in either one of their careers, this is a good insurance or cash out check. If Khan loses his next fight, gets another blemish in the near future, which I know he definitely doesn't want to do, and that's why I don't think he will jump right in there with Danny Garcia. We see him calling out Conor McGregor, trying to get a 7-figure payday. If he gets another blemish in the near future, this degrades Khan so much. Well, I don't know if he takes the fight or not, because not only will he be the B side, he'll be the D side. You know what I'm saying? Kell Brook will have his way with him in negotiations, and Khan will feel ego wise, you know what I'm saying, may feel like he being sunned. But either way, man, Kell Brook would still bring his ass up from welterweight, maybe challenge him at a catchweight or something, and the sky could be the limit for Khan because now Kell Brook will have all these titles. I don't know. But the fight still must go on, ladies and gentlemen. Win, lose, or draw for either man in their next fight, I still want to see the fight because it's been built up so fucking long, man. And no matter the outcomes of these two men in their next two fights, one or two fights, they got to see each other. Khan is going to cash out with Brook. Brook wants Khan under his name for countryman purposes, if you will. Because Brook wants the recognition and he wants to be recognized as a great fighter. Amir Khan can be a stepping stone and a good legacy point for Kell Brook, win, lose, or draw. Just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. To the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man, Made Man Boxing Forum. Google Plus, Main Man, Made Man. And guess what, y'all? No matter what happens in these guys' next fights, I still want to see the fight. And I'd pay good money to still see it because I know what's involved in it. And sometimes emotion trumps money, man. Emotion just trumps rankings, all that. When you have that much built up, just like Pacquiao and Mayweather, it was built up for so long that there was no other fight, no matter where they were ranked, that I would have preferred to see. And that's the same thing with these two guys. They've done a tremendous job of keeping this fight alive throughout the years. I hope they continue to do so. To the next video. Peace out.